People, apologies for shaking the screen. Let me do that again. People, deluded, I'm back again. Now, Ben Cottrell, should I say, rather than get rid of the slang that I applied unnecessarily to his name. Again, I'll never pretend to know anything more about anybody connected with any football club, specifically the one that I love. And I can only speak as a fan from an outsider looking in. But in terms of hard work being rewarded, in terms of for young players being consistent, being competent, consistently improving and applying yourself game in, game out, I believe that stuff should be awarded. And again, forgive me if I'm wrong, and I could be completely wrong about this, but I couldn't see anything online in regards to Ben being an official pro. What I mean by being an official pro is signing that first professional contract. For those who don't know, I can't imagine none of you do, but obviously you come up as a schoolboy terms, whether that be 1, 2, 3, depending on whatever coming up for an academy, at least in this country. Obviously you sign a scholarship, a 2 years. In some cases some players can get 3 years, but typically a 2 year scholarship, people, right? Yeah, those of you who don't know, you staying with me, please. Now, I call that personally the first proper steps. In fact, it is a fact. They are the first proper steps to being a professional footballer. Because if you're not already, you're training every day. Obviously, some people go in uni, college, and all of these sort of things. You are having to be a footballer. Depend on yourself. Be consistent. It's the real world sort of thing as a footballer. You're getting paid and you're doing this training thing full time. You need to apply yourself to that. Then the next is the pro deal. Now, many people sign a professional deal after the scholarship and don't make it as a footballer, but that's the first mark. You're technically a professional footballer. You're not a pro footballer in my book until you've made 100 appearances for any club or any level, but you sign a pro, you're there in it. And I believe if he hasn't signed that, I believe he deserves that because he's done what's needed. Considering just based on newspaper reports that upon a time Dortmund wanted him, Marseille wanted him, and things like that. Why not give him a pro deal? I can't speak for any other YouTubers or people that follow Arsenal's youth or anyone else. I'm not here to say Ben's going to be the next R7, he's going to do this, he's going to CR7, he's not going to do this, he's going to do that, he's going to achieve this, he can help us win the league. I'm not saying that. Only God knows his potential. It's down to Ben to work hard and apply himself, and I think he's doing that. You never know how far people can go. But on the topic of just rewarding someone who deserves it, and the club might give him one. I believe if he hasn't got it already, he should be given a pro deal because he is one of our better players at under 18s side. Obviously, he scored a brace. Forgive me if I'm wrong. He scored a brace in the last outing for the under 18s against Swansea. He's always chipping in with goals and assists almost every game. I know because I'm there and I'm speaking about them in all my reviews. How many times have you watched the under 18s review from me, people? And I've said Ben Cottrell has done this, assisted that, was there in the engine room. The guy's been playing a bunch of roles. Obviously, he's settled down in the central mid role, 10 sometimes, normally around Matt Smith, another underrated guy at this club who's signed his pro deal. Engine room, making things happen. I've seen him play left back and left wing. He can play in the 10, but regardless of the role, whatever his manager gives him, he applies himself. He gives it his all, and he's actually decent there. Obviously, as he gets older, he needs to define himself as one person. But what does that tell you? That's a young man that can be given numerous different instructions by his manager and implement them well. And no matter how good you are as a professional footballer, if you get to the pro level and your manager tells you need to stick out wide, you need to press on this man, you need to do this, you need to do that, and you can't do it, you're not going to play. And then because you're not going to play, because you haven't got his trust, you're not going to improve and people are not going to take chances with you. He's at least applying that. He's being consistent. I'm sure on the basis of him playing so well, he must be one of the sharpest in training or just putting in the effort, man. It remains to be seen how far he can go. And I'm not here to say the man's going to be this, that and the other. I just think you should recognise someone that plays good, that is consistent, that's been playing well, and seems to be having a fantastic attitude, in my opinion. You never see him moaning, he just gets on with it, man. He really does. Now, obviously, the next step for Ben is obviously the sooner the better to step up into under 23s level because there's a lot of competition on the books. Currently, there's still Gilmore and Shea, for example. You've got Willock, you've got several other people. So, collectively, between actually the first year scholars, specifically for me, Monza, and obviously Aziz, they're central sort of players. I know Yusuf can play outside. Can play out wide, but you're thinking he's a sort of central midfielder sort of player in the future. So there'll be a lot of competition from the first year scholars to become scholars, under 18s, this sort of level. There'll be a lot of people. So if the club have that in their thinking and the younger players within their thinking without giving Ben a pro deal, I don't know their thinking. I just think he's someone that looks like he has a lot of potential and he's playing quite well. And yeah, man, and you lot know I'm just not saying this for any reaction and stuff. I felt he should have been one of them going to Dubai and training with the first team again, because I believe in rewarding stuff. Now, I'm not saying Unai Emery hasn't looked at him. I'm not saying anyone doesn't believe in rewarding him. I'm not saying anything. Like I said at the beginning, I'm just talking as a fan. And yeah, man, it'd be a shame to lose him, in my opinion. And just I believe in rewarding hard work. As for his potential, I don't know, man. People can always surprise you, and he is one of the most underappreciated and underrated prospects, I think, at this club. Obviously, I love Amici, I love Monte Daly Campbell, Coyle, all of these other ones. Eloabi, I'm always speaking about him, but I feel Ben's one of them that gets lost. And when you're actually watching and you're there at these games, he's actually playing quite well, in my humble opinion. But we'll see, man. The club could be in talks for all we know. And again, I'm not telling anyone how to do their job. This is just my opinion, people. But on that topic, I've had enough of giving my opinion, so I'm gonna keep it moving. People, deluded. Comment, subscribe, and do the rest. If you wish, follow me on my socials. They're all in the description.